Hello friends, I am so excited to be here on this crisp September morning in this beautiful place, this beautiful shop called SoulShine Boutique with my beautiful friend Lisa Weigard. And our paths crossed a few months ago, and I think it felt, at least for me, kind of like that special easiness that comes from meeting a kindred spirit. And I knew pretty quickly into our time together that this is a very special lady.
Thank you.
That I would like to know more of, so I thought you would like to know more about her as well. And she has so graciously opened up her shop here today as the backdrop for an Orange Chaise conversation. So get cozy and come and join us. So before we get too far, I know so many people know you and know about this place, and I'm kind of late to the party. And I'm thinking there are other people like me who don't. So maybe you could just tell us a little bit about SoulShine, or what you do, or who you are.
I'd be honored. So SoulShine is a beautiful boutique on downtown Main Street at 23 North Main Street, and I take great pride in curating really unique items that bring joy to people, that they find fun to gift to people, but also to gift to themselves. But more than that, I find great joy in curating a space that people feel at peace and in joy and in love and in safety. And I've always said since the very beginning is that anybody can sell a t-shirt or a piece of jewelry. That to me, it's just the cracker that scoops up the yumminess. That the yumminess is the interaction with the people, the ladies, the stories that they come in and they share about their hearts, and even when the shop is quiet, it allows us a time to pray together. And I just love to encourage the ladies to be their best and look lovely all the way around, inside and out.
I love that, the cracker that scoops up the yumminess. Yeah. I'm so writing that down.
Yeah.
And I felt that when I came in.
Oh.
I felt like a real peacefulness here, and it's just such a beautiful place. And when I walked in, I saw a sign that you have. Can you say what that sign is? What it says on that sign?
Sure. So, the world is in such chaos right now on a temporal level, just based on what you see, and so we're all built with some aspect to fix it. And so a lot of times the world can distract us from what that is. And so my sign says the world needs who you were made to be. Did I say it right?
I think you did.
Now I've got to look. She'll pop a picture up right here.
Yeah.
But it's so important right now to just not be distracted and just activate what's in you, like supercharge what's in you to attack all the many different details that are going wrong in this world right now. So if I can at any level awaken something like that in somebody, or stir that up, or inspire that in somebody, then it's my greatest honor.
The world needs who you were made to be.
Yes.
And that's really, I think we've been on kind of the same wavelength with that, because in September on the Orange Chaise, I was exploring this idea of finding a sweet spot. Thinking about that perfect alignment of your wiring and your gifts that enable you to have impact on the world, to be the person that you were made to be.
Right.
But this month we're continuing the conversation and talking about finding a platform for your sweet spot, which could just be your community, your space of living or working or serving, that enables you to pour your sweet spot out into the world, even if it's just a little corner of the world. And when you and I were going back and forth a little bit, talking in preparation for this, you said something about, I don't know if I've thought through or considered what my sweet spot is, or, and so I think that when you said that, it made me think, well, that's probably like most of us.
Yeah.
Because we would have to press pause and slow down and kind of step back from our life to think through, well, what is my sweet spot?
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? What does that mean to you, sweet spot?
To me, it's just the place of ease. Like, sometimes we get bogged down in thinking, well, I'm not saving lives as a firefighter, or I'm not creating a cure for cancer, so me folding clothes for my children is not good enough. But it is. It's everything, in fact. And it's the tiny things that you start with sometimes that platform you into something bigger, and you really have to show grace and beauty and patience within that very first platform of what you have in your hands, to show that you can go up to the next level. So, but also just to practice in this space. So, if you have a platform for going to work every day, 9 to 5, whatever that work is, that is still your platform, and that is still your sweet spot. And so, take a look at what you're doing right now. What's in your hands? Like, what brings you that peace? Because wherever that peace is, there's God, there's the big guy. And so if you occupy yourself in spinning too many plates, and you're trying all these different things that you think are your sweet spots, but you really don't have peace in them, then just part the seas a little bit and just settle into that sweet spot that is your peaceful place. Like, maybe you find peace in music, or you find peace when you're encouraging somebody, or you find peace when you're creating something new out of something that wasn't there before. But just take a little bit of time and just notice where that peace is and where it isn't.
So what I hear you saying is peace really kind of being a marker, if you will, for finding that. So what does that look like for you?
So for me, very recently, I've noticed when I don't have peace. And so when, it's kind of like when you're hangry, like, I'm tired and I need to eat, and I need all the things, and I'm frazzled, and I yell at the dog, and nothing's working out right. That's when you're like, whoa, red flag, where's my peace? And just slow your roll just for a little bit, find it, and then move forward again. And then if you need to do it 20 times, then you do it 20 times. But you start to notice you don't have to stray so far away from the shore out of peace before now you can just notice a little bit of a one-dimensional shift off of peace, and then you can just quickly pull back instead of having to like suffer through the hangry bits of being so far away from peace.
Oh yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I love the way you said that. And that might be different for each one of us.
Yeah.
And I think that to me, it's more of not so much a jumping off place. Like you talked about kind of grasping at straws. Like, I'll try this, I'll try that. Maybe this will be my sweet spot. Maybe I'll be good at that. But it sounds more like it's a well that we draw from.
Yeah.
And it's very simple if we kind of put it through that grid of peace. So I love that.
Good.
Makes a lot of sense.
It does.
And I've been thinking about there being kind of a sequel to that it's not just about finding your sweet spot, because we hear that term in the world. That's kind of where I started thinking about this, is that anybody can say, oh, my sweet spot is teaching, or my sweet spot is playing the piano, or teaching my kids, or whatever it is. But to go beyond that, I've been contemplating a platform. And I'm not thinking about a platform in the literal sense of like a stage where we can show off what we're good at, but a place that we can most naturally, two things: connect with people, and who we are and the gifts that we have most naturally on that platform, care for people. So I kind of had the sense of these words, connect and care, is identifiers for maybe the platform that you could find for your sweet spot. What do you think about that? What do you think about how you can look for your platform?
Well, connect and care to me is also like the way you're contributing in the world. So I have a dear friend that always says, how are you contributing in the world? So you always want to gauge and make sure you're not just keeping all of your yumminess to yourself. Make sure you're sharing it with other people. So, and in that inspires them to do the good thing, and then you've created good fruit. So I just don't want anybody to discount the fact, like you said, it doesn't necessarily mean stage. It also could be that mama that's frustrated and has young babies and isn't sleeping all night. Like, she's like, what's my platform? My platform clearly is going to be 20 years from now. No, your platform is right now with your baby. And it's caring and connecting to that baby. And that's what your current platform is and your current sweet spot. And does it mean that that platform and that sweet spot is always going to stay and look exactly like that? For sure, no. So you're always going to modify your platform and your connect and care. It always is going to grow and tweak. And so in that journey of growing and tweaking, you're just bettering where you are right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I think about when that was my platform, and now I kind of long for some of the simplicity of that being my platform. I had all those thoughts that you said, like, oh, I guess what I do best is meant for a later season of life. But now, in a later season of life, I kind of feel like, oh, that was a good platform for me. You know, like, that was a sweet spot for me. And so there's something to the notion, I think, that you brought up there about the flexibility and the changing of platforms. It's really just about where God wants to use you next.
Right.
So now talking about Lisa, because I want to know more. What are just some things about you, things that you love or that bring joy or bring fulfillment that kind of connect to maybe what you're doing here? Because I would think that the shop is a platform for you. It may just be one platform for you. So maybe talk a little bit with us, share a little bit about just some of the personal things that drive you. That could be maybe a sweet spot or something that lights you up.
Sure.
And then maybe how that connects to what you're doing here.
Absolutely. And I have great examples. So let's use the shop as a platform. So I've had ladies come in and they're just temporal level, surface level, busy. And I could also be very busy with them and like a mimicking type of a platform. But that little still small voice would say one little thing to me, that one crucial word that would have brought them great peace. And I could have overlooked it by being distracted or trying to impress or trying to be that person they expect me to be. But when he speaks that little voice, for instance, I had a lady that came in and she was just so frantic and busy and rushed, and in other situations I too would have been rushed with her, like, oh, let me help you do this. And instead I grounded back into peace, and I heard that little voice say, ask her about her husband. And so I did, and literally a fog kind of lifted from her face, and she was like, oh, wow, nobody has asked me. And so we were able to have this really honest connection right there, and creating a relationship that's going to last a little bit longer too, but also just to show her the humanity in shopping and relationships, and the concern and the care, like you talked about, the connecting. I think that's lost a lot in big box stores. So that I crave the quiet mind that's able to hear that still small voice, to say that word to somebody that's going to light them up. And not to impress them about me, but to point them to the big guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the fun platform that I get to do here at this shop, and it inspires me and it connects me and it drives me to do it more and more and more because it's that yummy.
And you know what you said, that little bit of it where you said, I crave a quiet mind. You know, I think that is a sweet spot for you in just the little bit that I've known you, because you say things to me like, wait a minute, let me just find my peace. And I never thought about just vocally saying that, like verbally saying that to myself, like, wait, let's just slow down a minute.
Yeah.
So I can hear Holy Spirit prompting me, or
Absolutely.
Hear that word for that woman.
Yeah.
And just by doing that one little thing, it probably changed the trajectory
Absolutely.
of your day
and hers.
and hers.
Yeah.
Right?
But you can also do it when you're home folding laundry. Like, you can say, oh, they never turn their shoes their socks inside out, and it's frustrating.
I do say that.
I do say that. But then you can also just swiftly twist it, just a little tweak to say, thank you, Lord, that they are rooted and grounded in love. And everywhere they walk in these socks, they are just going to be blessed. And they are blessed when they come in and blessed when they go out. So you can change the way that you see things. And so I think that's what a big thing in what you're doing with the Orange Chaise is just to make people slow the roll just a little bit and really examine, like, where's my peace? Where's my passion? Where can I help people in the world? And I admire that. I think that's crucial, to really just examine yourself just a little bit. Am I crazy? Am I flapping in the wind? Am I spinning too many plates? Have I yelled at the dog too much today? Like, what's really going on in my life? And we get so distracted, we don't really take the time to just really bring it back and figure out why I am the way I am, or flip side, what's lighting me up right now, and how can I connect and care.
Yeah. Yeah, that about says it all right there.
How do you go?
Yeah. So, you know, it is that just longing to shift the gaze inward a little bit and just open up that door in us that can help you to do all those things. You know, and it can be very simple but very profound, because for each one of us, God has an imprint, a fingerprint on the world, and just doing what it is that you do really, really matters, really makes a difference. And so we want to know that. We want to discover what that is.
That's right.
Now, when I first met you, I think I said this to you before, I asked you a question, how did you get into doing this? And you probably told me all about how you got into doing the shop. But something you said really resonated with me. You said, well, I want to encourage women.
Yeah.
And when I got this tour of the shop today, which now I want to bring everybody I know back here, because this is such a beautiful, life-giving place. It just exudes peacefulness when we walk in. But I could see all around me ways, tangible ways, that you love and care by just the care with the displays, the clothing, the products that you choose. It just translates that way to encouraging women.
Good. Job complete.
Job complete. So do you feel like that's what you do every day? What are some ways that you do that? And maybe just even not so much here, but when you're at home, I don't know, finding inventory or choosing a candle.
Every bit of it is peace. Every bit of it. So if I have two choices and I don't have peace over one, I don't choose it. if I have an opportunity to market somewhere and it's a certain cost, and I'm like, I don't know, I really need to like pray about it and let me think about it. And if I don't have any peace, I just don't do it.
Wow.
I just stick to my guns, and it has never strayed me far from the right place.
And sometimes that probably means waiting.
Yeah.
Until you have it, right?
You got it. You got it.
I'm not good at that. I need to get better at that.
Me too sometimes. But it's taught me to plug it out.
So, kind of taking this forward to someone that's out there right now and feeling like, okay, I really want to know, I want to know more about my sweet spot. I want to know about my platform. Is there any deposit that you could share with them, any encouragement, maybe from your journey, or?
Well, just look at what you're doing right now. How can you connect and care to somebody in the place that you are right now? Like, you don't need to like throw out the baby with the dishwater, or whatever that stupid term is. Just really look, okay, are you a young mom? You've got a baby. So how can you best be the mom that you are in this season? If you are a lady farther along in wisdom and years, how can you love on your grandchildren or your neighbors or your church friends better? Just examine where you are in this season, and just do small tweaks. Like, don't try and like completely change your hair and your outfit and your shoes and your friends all at once, because it's just going to wreak havoc. Just examine one little thing at a time. Am I surrounding myself with really good people? That's number one. Are the people that I'm surrounding myself feeding into me, or are they pulling away my energy every day? And I've been around people that pull away my energy, and it is no bueno. It is not what God has intended for you. You're meant to be filled constantly. Examine what you're doing, examine what you're eating, examine what you're letting into your brain space. Like, are you watching TV shows that leave you haunted afterwards? Are you listening to music that really wrecks your soul and tears you apart inside? Like, are you listening to things that are feeding you, or are you listening and interacting with things that are starving you? Look it up.
I love it.
Good.
I love it. Well, I feel like I could go on for hours. And I think I might just hit pause and we'll just keep talking amongst ourselves. But I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for doing this today, being a part of this Orange Chaise conversation. And I just bless what you're doing here, because it's amazing. And it's not just here. I think it's you, Lisa, speaking to the world. You just do it through this beautiful place.
I do. Thank you.
So, thank you for doing it.
Thanks for having me.